Hi everyone, I'm Ara Topouzian, President and CEO of Troy Chamber of Commerce. It's my pleasure to be here at Northwood University, and I'm here to interview the President and CEO, Keith Pretty. Keith, pleasure. We go way back.
We do. We go back
a
lot of chambers.
A lot of chambers.
With your experience, a lot of great Oakland County experience.
Yeah,
and I'm so pleased to see you in Troy today. That's wonderful
likewise,
for Troy.
Likewise, thank you.
Troy's a great community, and I had the good fortune of being the chairman of the Troy Chamber a decade or so ago.
That's right.
And so I have great fondness for this community. I'm really glad to see we've got great leadership in place.
Well, thank you. It's Old Home Week for you then, right?
It is.
We got a beautiful midwinter spring day, so
beautiful.
Thanks for bringing the weather from Midland.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about Northwood University, the DeVos Graduate Institute or Graduate School, and tell me a little bit about the university.
Well, the university is a very interesting organization.
Mm-hmm.
We've been around since 1959, which is a very entrepreneurial year in Michigan.
Yeah.
It's when the Illiches started Little Caesars. It's when the DeVosses and the Van Andels started Amway. It's when Art Van started his furniture company. And it's when Motown Records was started. And Northwood has been in existence since then, headquartered in Midland, Michigan. Mm-hmm. We have traditional undergraduate campus there, and then we have, like this center here in Troy, 24 of these centers around the country that help adult learners to achieve their educational goals, whether that's at the undergraduate level or through our DeVos Graduate School. We do a great job of helping working professionals to complete their degree. And then we have a large international division. Most people don't know that we have 5 program centers, what we would call campuses overseas, 2 in the People's Republic of China, 1 in Malaysia, 1 in Sri Lanka, and an absolutely beautiful campus in Montreux, Switzerland. That's where you need to come and work on your MBA.
Maybe I need to be invited.
Absolutely. You've got the invitation now. Let's get this done.
No, it's all on tape.
There you go.
So professionals that are going back to school, they're going back for their masters, I would imagine, but obviously you've got some undergraduate programs as well. What are some of the in programs that people are taking?
Well, at our institution, we cover all the business disciplines, and then we have a number of specialty programs. A specialty program in automotive marketing, where we work closely with the Detroit area auto dealers that are right here in Troy, and they were our home base for many, many years. We've got a great relationship with Rod Albert and his team. Fashion management, entertainment sports promotion management, franchise management. We have a program that we operate with the International Franchise Association, providing a baccalaureate degree in franchise management for individuals that want to either be franchisees at maybe the smaller end of the process, or want to work for one of the large franchisor companies.
Well, that's interesting. When you talk about the fashion and sort of the arts, or those creative industries, which is something that's kind of near and dear to me, that's a very important part of the university then.
It's a huge part of our university. We've from our very founding always seen the relationship between business and the arts as being critical. And any of our students, any of our traditional undergraduate students, are going to get some arts and culture education via Northwood that you wouldn't expect of a business school, because we think that goes hand in glove, and a successful business leader ultimately needs to know and appreciate the arts and culture, and creativity is the other critical component of that to be a successful business leader.
So the international centers, where do you see that growing in the future?
Well, we're actually looking at another one right now. I can't say for the moment, but it's also in Asia. We see great growth in Asia right now. We are looking at other parts of the world. What we do in all of our other than Midland, we have centers that are really partnership arrangements with companies, countries, the military, community colleges, where there is a cohort of students that are going to need and want the education that we're going to provide. So we don't go into a country unless we have a partner institution there. And we, for the most part, don't build brick and mortar in other countries. We share from other institutions. For instance, in Switzerland, we're with one of the preeminent hospitality schools in that country. They've got phenomenal facilities looking out on Lake Geneva, across at the French Alps, and behind you are the Swiss Alps, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful place to get an education, but their charter of that school doesn't allow them to give a baccalaureate degree. So they'll do 3 years and get a diploma in hospitality there, and then the 4th year they'll stay on and get a bachelor's of business administration in hospitality management from us. And then we also teach our DeVos graduate school in the same way for adult learners.
Talk about that more, because that's a newer addition really in the scheme of things,
that's about 25 years old, where the university is
still
new. It's still new for us, and it's a great program. And it's been a growing program for us. Originally, we're just the Masters of Business Administration. We now offer 6 different degrees through the DeVos Graduate School of Management, the MBA, the Master of Science in Organizational Leadership, and then Masters of Science in Finance, in Accounting, in Taxation, and in Economics. And those programs are all offered right here in Troy and available to working professionals. We see a lot of students that come via Oakland Community College or Macomb Community College, complete their baccalaureate degree here in this center in Troy, and then go on and complete their master's degree in the various business subject matters that we have. So it's a great and growing program, excellent faculty, done in cohorts, so the students really get to know one another, and it's taught very differently than most programs. There's not much lecture involved. There's a lot of case study, and then there's a lot of group project and group discussion, so that you really have to be able to work closely and in small groups, as the business world is telling us it's going to be the case for these employees when they're out in the working world. So
why Troy? Why have a facility here?
Troy is the center of business activity in Southeast Michigan. We've been here for a long time. The graduate school started right here 25 years ago. This was the first site besides Midland that we had the graduate program. And it's because there's such a great cohort of working professionals in this community and in the surrounding area. I know from my years as chair of the Troy Chamber and on the Troy Chamber that you bring employees in from across the region to work in this community. It's a very diverse community, which we seek diversity. We think that that's a real advantage to business leaders. The more diverse your customer base, the greater your opportunity in your business, whatever that might be. And Troy has virtually everything you would want for business programming and business leadership, which is what we're all about.
So if you had a crystal ball, let's talk about education next 5 years, 10 years. It's a very interesting market, as you know.
It is.
One that seems to change quite often. Where do you see, and you've done it for a long time, and you started when you were 18, so.
I started when I was a child.
All fairness.
Yeah, thank you.
But where do you see it going, Keith?
You know, education, as it should, is evolving, and the needs continue to evolve. You know, technology, particularly the internet, has changed how we teach, how we learn, what we need. You know, there's so much information out there. We don't teach specific information anymore. We teach processes, and we teach how to learn and how to interact with people to be successful. And the whole higher ed area is changing dramatically. The demographics are way down here in the state of Michigan. So all of the schools, whether they're public community colleges or public universities or private institutions like ours or for-profit institutions, their numbers are way down from what they were just a few years ago. So it's very competitive. You've got to be good in order to attract students to your institution. You have to have a value proposition that, just like your private businesses in the chamber, you have to have something and be able to communicate that in ways that people are going to want to come and utilize your institution, as opposed to the many, many other great academic institutions we have here in Metro Detroit.
So like chambers, universities, colleges and universities, I like to equate are great barometers of the economy and the workforce and environment. How would you pair that together? What are you seeing on the end of education versus our economy? How is that all coming together?
Well, what we're seeing right now here in the state of Michigan is there's a huge need as the baby boom population moves out of the pipeline. There's a huge need for business professionals. A need that all of us, every school that offers business programming in the state of Michigan should be bigger than it is. But because the demographics of our state have changed so dramatically, and we've kind of downsized during the first decade of this millennium here in Michigan, we're going to have a great need for leadership in business now, today, and certainly going forward. That's certainly true in all the STEM disciplines and the science and technology and engineering and mathematics areas. It's certainly true in healthcare. So the needs of our economy are great. The opportunity right now to be a student and to maybe transition, which is what we see in our adult students that come to school here in Troy for their undergraduate degree or for their master's degrees. We see them often as working in one field today, but wanting to work in a different field down the road, so they come back to school to us. The average age of our adult learners are in the mid-30s. They're working full-time, they have families, they have all kinds of challenges, so you've got to be able to offer programs that are relevant, that are at times when they can take them, at price points that make sense for their lives and their activities, and we've been very successful in doing that. And doing that in partnership with our great community college system here in Michigan and those kinds of things. But I would continue to see that changing. The interesting part on our adult students is there's almost an exact opposite correlation with the economy. When the economy goes in the tank, as it did 6-7 years ago, those are the people that get laid off first. And they need to go back to school. They need immediate training in order to make themselves valuable to an organization. So we see our enrollments in our adult degree program and in our graduate school rise usually in a down economy. And in a strong economy like we have now, they're usually kind of flat. But the demand is still huge today. So I think you'll see education is one of the key issues in this state for at least another generation, because we need the leadership.
Keith, that's about all the time that we've got today. I want to thank you for coming out. It's always a pleasure to see you, and hope to see you here in Troy soon.
Many, many times. Love this community.
Great, thanks. That's about all the time we have today for Inside Corporate Troy. Again, my name is Ara Topouzian, and we hope to see you next time. Check out our website at troychamber.com. Take care.